Hello, everybody, and welcome to reacting to two sleep paralysis horror stories. Now, I haven't done one of these on my channel yet, so I decided tonight would be the night. And first of all, I would like to thank you guys for a 100 subscribers. That is crazy. I did not think that I would hit that this kind of fast. But I would like to thank you guys for 100 subscribers and all the support on my last video. I guess you guys really liked it. And for this one, to make it interesting, while we are reacting to this new video by SSG Animations, I'll most likely link their channel in the description below. At the end of this video, after we watch these horror stories, I would like to tell my own sleep paralysis horror story because I think that'd be pretty interesting for you guys to hear, and also for me to have it on a video. So, with all of that being said, make sure you guys like the video, comment something down below, not actually something, the word something, and also subscribe. And now that I've said all that, let's get right into it. Okay, here we go. Story one. Here we go. Okay.
How many of you have had sleep paralysis? You know when you're lying down on your bed, fall asleep, but your brain is still awake? In those moments, you are completely helpless. If it has ever happened to you, just imagine it. Your body is completely frozen, but you can see everything that happens. As you are half asleep, the waking world is combined with your most terrifying nightmares. You can see all kinds of demons, beasts, and wild animals walking towards you. And the more you try to move, the more you try to wake up, the more scared you get, triggering even worse nightmares. Sounds really scary, doesn't it? Now imagine how terrifying this was for me. A person who always had sleep paralysis, but one time, the terror became more real than ever. For the shadow that haunted me that night was not part of a nightmare, nor something that would go away when I woke up. It was a real person. To be honest, sleep paralysis was something that terrified me as a child, but not so much as an adult. I had it so many times that I was used to it. I knew all the techniques to cope with sleep paralysis. Wiggle my fingers a little at a time, don't get desperate, don't sleep on my side, and once awake, don't fall asleep immediately and go and wet my face a little so that it doesn't happen again. If you have it chronically, sleep paralysis is something you live with. But that night, it was different. That night, I had a different sleep paralysis. When I have sleep paralysis, I see all kinds of shadows and monsters walking around me. But when I calm down, all the shadows go away. But this time, it was different. This time, there was a shadow that behaved totally differently. This one didn't come to attack me or do anything potentially dangerous. It was just looking at me, walking slowly around my room, approaching me little by little and inspecting me. Even though I tried to calm as much as I could, even though I tried to imagine other things to make the shadow disappear, it was still there. I began to despair. I tried to breathe, but it was...
Alright, so first things first, whose fucking grandma is that? Whose grandma is attacking this dude with a axe? That is someone's grandma. You can't tell me otherwise. That is someone's grandma right there. What, Pamela Voorhees? Who is that?
It's getting harder and harder. Meanwhile, the shadow was still there, watching me with a lot of intrigue and malice. And suddenly, I just woke up. It was already daylight in my house, and I was alone without danger. From that day on, everything went...
Now that I'm thinking about it, sorry for pausing the video. So now that I think about it, leave your sleep paralysis stories in the comment section down below. I think it'd be really interesting for me to read them if you have any. Because if I'm telling you, I would like you to tell me. So, yeah.
From bad to worse. I kept having sleep paralysis even more frequently than usual. The visits of that shadow became more and more frequent, to the point where I got to see her every day. But none of her visits were the same as before. Every time I had sleep paralysis, every time I saw that shadow, I was more and closer and closer. I didn't know what it was that made me dream of that shadow, but I knew that every day I woke up worse. and that there was nothing I could do to avoid it. Everything kept escalating until one day I reached the limit. That night I had sleep paralysis like the other days, but unlike other times, the shadow was behaving differently. At first I didn't see it. My room was empty, and I was trying to keep my composure and
What is
move
he
my fingers a
stretching?
little at a time as not to dream of anything too scary. But suddenly, as if it had been there all the time, the shadow appeared, and this time it was in front of me. I could see his eyes twitching from side to side in a sickly way. His smile was huge and marked, and his body seemed to be drowned in a shadow that did not allow me to see anything in detail. Once in front of me, this strange being stuck out its long, horrible tongue and began to run across my face.
Ugh!
Subtly, but obsessively. Everything felt so real. It was as if it was
That is
really
actually
there torturing me
disgusting.
and enjoying
That is
every second I was
actually
asleep.
disgusting.
I tried to use all my strength to wake up. My body ached, and the terror grew greater and greater with each passing second. I felt like I couldn't breathe, but somehow I had to wake up. In a last desperate attempt, I screamed at the top of my lungs and woke up, giving a short, dry scream in the
Jesus.
middle of the night. Once awake, I breathed, agitated and nervous. That was the worst sleep paralysis I had ever had in my life. I put my hands on my face to wake up a little more.
Hold up. If I have sleep paralysis, where this like demon, let's call it, is licking my fucking face, I'm moving out. I'm going to the doghouse. I'm sleeping with the dog. Don't take that line out of context. I'm sleeping in the dog's bed. My room is off limits. I'm not having a demon lick me in the fucking face and I'm just gonna sleep there the next night like nothing happened. That's not happening. Let's continue the video.
And
That's just
when
me
I
though.
realized
That's
the
just me.
worst thing possible. My face. My face was full of saliva. With my eyes already adjusted to the darkness, I looked ahead, and that's when I saw him. There was a man in front of me. He was just sitting in my chair, staring at me with a huge grin from ear to ear.
Oh my god,
I knew that
it's a real
smile.
person.
I knew that way of looking at me, and I knew that man. He acted exactly
Oh,
like the
fucking
shadow I saw in my
Lord.
sleep paralysis. It was at that moment that I realized that the shadow was not part of my imagination. It was a real man. A man who came to my house every day. A man who started
Every day.
observing me from a distance, and little by little, he encouraged himself to get closer to me. To the point of standing next to me and licking me.
Lord.
Discovered, the man approached me once again, showing me a terrifying knife, and with a smile he said to me, "See you soon, whether you fall asleep or not."
You know, this is the part where you get out of the bed because you can move now. You don't have sleep paralysis anymore. This is the part where you get out of the bed and you're like, that. Like, am I the only one who thinks that?
After saying those words to me,
Get this
I could only stay
motherfucker!
on the bed completely static,
Now he's giving
while he
himself.
left through the window. After that, I called the police and told them everything. In disbelief and confusion, they told me they would keep an eye on the area, but just in case, I went to sleep a few nights in a hotel.
Yes, good move.
Shortly after, I found out that the man was arrested.
He
His
came back the
name
next
was
night.
Mark Anthony Gonzalez, and apparently, I was the first man he attacked. This psychopath was into breaking into women's homes and touching their feet.
Oh
He
no.
always escaped from the scene of the crime when they woke up, but because of my inability to wake up from sleep paralysis, he became obsessed with me. I never heard from this man again. I only know that he is behind bars.
For life, hopefully.
As for me, I still have sleep paralysis almost every night, but this time I have a security system in my house to wake me up in case someone breaks in.
Good. Good.
Who knows what things could happen to me while I'm sleeping?
Yeah, if they're licking your face, it's not.
We are thrilled that you have been enjoying our videos. Your support means the world to us. If you've liked what you've seen, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel.
Do that.
We would love to hear which one of our
Yeah, do
videos
that.
is your favorite. We're
Do
on a
that.
mission to reach 100,000 members in the SSG family, and with your help, we can achieve that goal. Thank you for being a part of our journey.
How do- Okay.
I had never experienced sleep paralysis until the age of 28. I knew what it was.
So
And I heard
28.
about some real-life experiences of sleep paralysis. but never experienced it firsthand. Then I met Peter. We dated for 2 years and then got married. Peter was the son of a wealthy businessman and a great businessman
Why
himself.
does Peter look like Roman
He
Atwood?
lived in a big villa on the property he shared with his parents and his younger sister. It was wonderful having a family
And
of
his
your own
father is Alan
after
Wake.
being raised in foster homes. Peter and his parents were very welcoming. Of course, for the upkeep of the villa and to cook, they had several housekeepers.
They got a
and
butler?
chefs. I was very thankful for the life he had offered me.
Peter's rich.
However, since the day I moved into his home, I had a sinking feeling in my heart that I was being constantly watched. Most of the time, it was only me and Peter in our villa, and a couple of housekeepers who lived in the outhouse. So technically, there was no one around to keep an eye on me. However, as the days passed, the feeling grew more and more stronger. That's when the first incident happened. Just so you know, I'm a dead sleeper, meaning if I sleep at night, I only wake up in the morning. No matter what is going on around me, I will not wake up.
That's why you don't have sleep
For the
paralysis.
most part of my life, I have appreciated this quality. But now that I feel unsafe in my own house, it's kind of a disadvantage.
What is that salad?
Peter and I share a bedroom. At around 11 p.m., we both went to bed, and in no time, I was flat out asleep. Then in the wee hours of the morning, when it was still dark outside, I woke up. I was sleeping flat on my back, and Peter was right beside me. My eyes were wide open, but I could not move. It was as if my hands and legs were tied with tight ropes. I could not even move my neck around. Then, through the corner of my eyes,
It's the worst feeling ever.
I saw a
Oh!
figure standing by our bedroom door.
Okay.
It looked like a petite woman around average height. My first reaction was to reach out to Peter and wake him up. But I could not even move my wrist, let alone my whole hand, to wake him. He was softly snoring, with his back to me. Then I tried to talk. Hell, I tried to scream. But no sound or words would come out of my mind. I felt like my vocal cords had stopped working. My eyes were taking in each and every movement in the room. The fans rotating above me, I could hear everything too. Then I looked at the door again and saw the woman was still there. I wanted to ask her for help, but somehow I
Ask her
knew
for help!
She was not there to help me. On the contrary, she was there to harm me.
Yeah. So when you're in sleep paralysis and you see that, you're thinking help? I'm thinking that's what I'm getting help for. You know, I'm not asking her for help.
I tried to move once again, but
That's
my
just
body
me,
had
again.
completely locked up. Then I heard whispers coming from the woman.
Oh no.
I could not decipher what she was saying, but she was definitely saying something. And as she whispered, the pressure on my body increased, and my eyes shut on their own. Now I was awake, but unable to even open my eyes. Then everything around me blacked out. The next morning, when I woke up, I was drenched in sweat. Peter was nowhere to be found in the room, and I could finally move my body. I could not understand what had happened last night, so I decided to keep it to myself. The moment I stepped out of my room, Leah, a sweet young girl who worked in our villa as a housekeeper, approached me. "Are you okay, ma'am? You look a little unwell," she asked me with concern in her eyes. She was the one I liked the best out of the 3 regular housekeepers we had. She minded her own business and did her job well. "No, I'm fine, Leah. Just couldn't sleep well last night. Is Peter in the dining room?" "Yes, he's
Now I think
having
about it.
breakfast. Do you want me to bring you your breakfast?"
She kind of looks like that. She kind of looks like that girl from the freaking thingy, except if she wasn't like all dead and messed up. I'll keep my eye on you. You're suspicious.
"No, that's fine. I will join him." That day, I did a bit of research and found out that what had happened to me was sleep paralysis, and all the things that I experienced were pretty common and nothing to be afraid of. So, I chalked it up as nothing and moved on with my day. Almost a year passed, and nothing of that sort happened again. I had settled into my new life pretty well, and the best part was Peter and I were expecting. I was pregnant with our lovely baby girl. I was 5 months along and had started to show.
Okay.
My whole family was delighted, especially Peter's parents, as it was their first grandchild. Leah was helping me every step of the way. Whenever Peter wasn't around to assist me, she was always there. She and I had become good friends over the years, and I was delighted to have her with me. One night, Peter and I went to bed as usual, and due to the stress of the pregnancy, I was sleeping a little too much. However, that night I was again woken up by extreme pressure on my chest and limbs. I could move my eyes, but nothing else. I looked towards the door, but the woman wasn't there. Instead, I felt something soft on my neck, but I couldn't move my head to see what it was. The tickling sensation soon reached my cheek, and then I saw the most horrifying thing in the world. A completely black woman was sitting on my chest, and she was holding my hands and legs prisoner.
All right.
She was shifting her weight on my swollen belly, and I was super scared this time, not for me, but for my unborn daughter. I tried to wake my husband, but I could not reach him.
Peter isn't even here. Peter's not in the same world as us.
Close to my face, but I could not see any of her features, as her face was fully black, but her eyes were red and glowing, looking straight at me. Her hair was tickling my cheeks and neck, and she was holding me tight. Then she whispered something in my ears, which I could not make out. As I was so scared, the weight on my belly became unbearable.
This is where we call the priest.
She disappeared.
And she's just gone like
I woke up coughing and breathing heavily.
She's just gone like that.
I caressed my stomach, and everything seemed fine. But I could not hold back my tears. My sobs and coughing woke up Peter, and I told him everything that had happened. He consoled me and told me that it was just sleep paralysis. But from that day onwards,
yeah, Peter sucks. I don't know what to tell you. Peter sucks.
Every other day.
Peter's a terrible husband. You should not have a
The
kid
experience was
with
always
this guy.
something similar and involved that petite black woman with glowing red eyes. I had entered my 6th month by then, and my mental health was depleting because of the lack of proper sleep.
And probably that thing
I was
too.
afraid to sleep at night. Finally, Peter and I decided that it would be good for me to visit my parents for a few days. I hadn't seen them in months. The day I arrived at my parents', I started sleeping well. My health started getting better, and I was overall a happier and healthier person, just like my old self.
Because the
Plus,
person
I
that
had
is
no
in your sleep
single
paralysis
incident.
is that lady. She can't get to you at the other house because you're at your parents' house. It's that lady. Watch, it's that lady. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, A.B. Boozled. I don't care.
As they were one of the nicest and most supportive people, and I also missed Leah. Peter used to visit me on weekends and take me to every doctor's appointment. At the start of my 7th month, Peter came to visit me one late evening. He wasn't his usual self, as he looked tired and disturbed. "Hey, what happened? Are you okay?"
He's getting sleep paralysis too.
We were sitting in the living room of my parents' house.
I fired Leah.
Why?
Look.
Why would you do that? Did she do something? I was a bit angry, as he had fired not only one of our best housekeepers, but also my friend.
Do you want to know why you're having sleep paralysis so much?
Yes. What do you mean? I was baffled at first. I did not know where this was going.
Leah tried to seduce me and break us up. She was in love with me and wanted to be with me, and she hated you. She became your best friend so that you could trust her and confide in her.
Wait. Why is Peter shaped like that? hold up. Because if I'm sitting down, hold up, I need to stand up on my chair. If I'm sitting down, I'm not, what the fuck? Peter's arms are like, do you see this? Peter, my arms go longer than my ass. You see, Peter, what the fuck is going on with your arms? Peter Short Arm is what your name should be. What the fuck is that? Peter, we need to get you surgery, buddy. I don't know what's going on with your arms, but holy shit.
The moment you started to show...
That's
she
giving
got
me
extremely
sleep paralysis
jealous.
tonight.
You started adding some type of drugs in your food and drinks that made the sleep paralysis worse.
Lord.
The moment you left, she made a move on me, but I flat out rejected her, as I love you. But she made a stand and went hysterical. She cut herself with a broken piece of glass and threatened me
no,
that
don't do
if
that.
I don't leave you and marry her, she would kill herself. But before
I'm
she could
definitely
pull
going to have to
off
put a
that
warning
stunt,
at the beginning of this.
Dad's bodyguards got involved, and now she's behind bars.
Where she belongs. Holy
I'm
crap.
so scared for you and the baby. So I talked to the doctors, and they told me that everything is fine with you and our daughter.
You need to talk
Drugs
to the
pretty much
doctor about
everything
your
that can
arms,
extreme
Peter.
Sleep paralysis. If you would have stayed there, even a day more, God only knows what would have happened. Both of your lives were in danger. But now, you can return home. It's safe.
This explained a lot about the constant feeling of being watched, the tasteless food, and the sleep paralysis. Leah wanted to make me mentally unstable so she could replace me. Years have passed since that.
What the fuck is that? What is that up there? Alright, I'm gonna end the video. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. But we're not done here. Hold up, we're not done here. And I was right about Leah. I wasn't completely right, but I was right that it was Leah. I knew it was Leah. I'm just smart like that. But now, let's get into my story. I'll actually keep this on, because then you're gonna see my headset then. I'm not this video. Come on. So I want to tell you guys about the time that I had sleep paralysis. Now, this was like 2-3 years ago when I used to live in a different house. Not this house, thank God, not this house. But, excuse me. But, it was a normal night, right? Normal night. I'm about to head to bed. And one thing that I never did back then was sleep on my back. Never did it. It was either the side or my front. By God, now I don't know how I used to sleep on my front. I can't do it anymore. But this night in particular, I decided to sleep on my back. Now this was a horrible idea on my part because it led to me having sleep paralysis. After knocking out, after doing whatever I was doing, you can imagine whatever it was in your head. I fell asleep, but then I woke up. I could look around my room. I could just see the front of my room. My bed was placed in the middle of my room, and then there was a right side where you can step down or a left side where you can step down. I had like a lot of space in my room, and then to my left was a closet. Kind of like now, there's a closet to my left, but whatever. And that was the layout of my room. Closet on this side. If you went a bit forward, like a couple steps forward, the door would be on the left. And my TV was in front of me. Like I had some space in front of my bed, okay? So I could see in front of me. I opened my eyes. I can't move. I can't move a single limb. I can't like shout anything. I can't do anything. So I'm shocked. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I can't move nothing. I can't say anything. I can't do nothing. No matter how hard I try, I can't say anything. And then I just hear this this loud sound. This like loud, god damn it, loud ringing in my ears. Like just out of nowhere. It's coming from nowhere, but I'm scared. So I close my eyes. I don't see anything at this point. It's just my room. It's dark. I don't see anything, but it's this large, like loud ringing in my room, and I can just hear like it goes from. It's just like loud in my ears. I'm like, damn, but I can't cover my ears or nothing. So I just close my eyes, and at this moment, my religion comes out. I start praying to God. The only thing I know what to do. I start praying, and I start that one praying line that's like, kingdom in heaven, something, something, something. I forgot it now. I'm not super religious anymore. Sorry. And I'm just praying in my head because that's all I can do. I can't speak. I can't move. I can't do anything. And like while I'm praying, the ringing starts to get lower and lower, like it's leaving. So think of it this way. When I was there in my bed, when I couldn't move, all I could do was open and close my eyes. I had my eyes closed because I was scared as fuck. Okay? You would too, okay? Yeah, so I thought of it as the louder the ringing is, the closer whatever this thing was to getting me. So after I prayed, the ringing went from like lower. Like it was getting farther from me because I was praying and my eyes were closed. Like I'm in, like, God, please help, God, kingdom in heaven, whatever the prayer is, I forgot it right now. And when I stop, the ringing comes back. It goes from like it's in my ears ringing, loud ass ringing. And then after a while of repeating this cycle of praying, and the ringing going away and coming back, I'm just like, please let me fucking move. Please let me fucking move. Like my limbs, like I want to scream, I want to move, I want to get out. And then I close my eyes and I wake up. I wake up and I'm looking around my room and I'm like frightened. I'm fucking scared. But after at least like 10 seconds of looking around, I throw off my blanket, I run out of my room, I open my door, I run out of my room, and I go straight to my brother's room that's down the hall. And I'm knocking on the door, and this motherfucker's still awake. It's like 3 a.m. He's still awake playing some shit on his computer. I knock on the door, and I tell him to let me in, I'm scared. Like, I just had sleep paralysis. Let me in, let me sleep in your room. And he's like, okay. And I just like go on the floor, tell him what happened, and then go to bed. Like, go to sleep. And like I would like look at my room, like the door would be open. The door would be open and it's like pitch black in there. I look in my room and I'm like, I don't know what's in there, but there's something in there. And I'm not going back in there for the rest of the night. And I fell asleep in his room, so shout out to Anthony for being my savior. So yeah, I learned from then to not sleep on my back, and yeah, just don't sleep on your back. I do it now. I do it all the time now. I like sleep on my back or my side, but I don't know. Just that night, for some reason, I decided I'm gonna sleep on my back when I never did it back then. I never slept on my back then. And the one night that I did, I had sleep paralysis. And that was my story. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment something down below. Not the word something. And yeah, follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I'll leave it down in the description to make it easier for you to find. And with all that being said, thank you guys for watching the video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!